Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. How are you? And I'm again back with the new lesson. And let's do the revision of our previous video in which we what we did was generation of the data, auto generation of data. Many times you need some that you have a, genuine or genuine looking data so that you can do some certain development purposefully, right? So for this, you got to have some routines so that generate the data, and that should be having a logical sequence. Means it should be random and it should make sense. As we did in our previous example, that we generated the purchase orders PO header, and in which the employees were randomly picked. Yeah, like this. We picked randomly these employees with the use of that function. Okay? And also we then use the random function, RANDBETWEEN function to pick the supplier. The supplier is these were the suppliers, right? So since you have the employees, you have the suppliers, and you need the transaction data for PO header, only header, not the detail. We will go to the detail once we complete this setting, means the header portion of the purchase order, right? So let's delete it and run it again so that you understand the sequence. So to delete all these 5,000 rows, I'm going to select. I have selected it, and Control minus will get rid of them. Right now, let's go to our Alt F11, the code we have. Yeah, this is our code, and we run this code in steps, as well as we can, for example, we say that okay, once the employee entry is done, yeah, one employee entry is done, then it should proceed to pick the supplier ID, right? Supplier ID, right? So for the sake of revision, we will go step by step so that you are you get the revision of what we learned in our previous video, right? So what is LR? LR is a variable. You can name it anything. You can name it anything, but to whatever the name you give, then that is going to be used here, like this, LR, yeah, LR, because this is going to tell you what is at the current last row which you are working. Our current last row is to be determined in this manner, that you tell the computer that you go to the PO header and then go to the bottommost area far away, that is a 1 million or something way downwards, and then from there you press control and arrow and Excel up. So that will take you the last of this row, and the last of the row. So dot row means pick the row. If we type dot address, it will pick the address. We can also pick the address, but for the moment we are concerned only with the row number. If we get the row, that's enough, right? And then we will make a loop that will carry on until the row 5000, and the data will be generated. As simple as that, right? So we press F8 to go to the next statement. Yeah, and now it is entering into the loop, and it is now writing the random rand between formula to pick the employee, right? It is employee routine, right? So how it is picking? It is picking the, let's see the report. Yeah. It is picking by writing a formula where it is writing the formula on QLR, Q30. On the Q30, what is Q30? Let's go and see, so that you have the clear idea that what is being done. Yeah, Q30 is the blank column where we are going to write the random picking of the minimum maximum employee number, right? So this will write a formula and you will have a result. So let's press F8. Yeah. So it has picked 9. Employee ID number 9 has been picked. Now immediately after it, what is it doing? It is saving this value, so that each time it is the sheet is calculated, the 9 will no longer remain 9. 9 will get changed. So to prevent it, that it freezes. So what we say that Q30 is equal to the value of Q30, right? So now the formula is gone, right? Okay, since this name is this ID has come, now there is no not a big deal to bring the name by means of VLOOKUP, right? And also the new purchase order number is going to be here. We will not use the random number that it generates any purchase order number. No, that would not make a sense. The sense is that it looks the maximum number or the number immediately above it and adds 1 into it to get a new purchase order number. That's how it should be, right? So that's what it is doing. It is saying that A30, this is 30. When we come here, LR is 30. So it is saying you go to the purchase order header, range A30, and make it A30 minus 1, that is 29. Whatever is written on it, add a 1 into it, right? So it is making it 149. That's right. Okay. So let's press F8 here. Yeah. So 149 has come. Now, the next thing is to bring the name from the employee on the basis of the Q30. So it is writing a VLOOKUP formula to get the employee name. To get the employee name here, it is going to write the formula, right? So let's make it visible for you so that you see that employee name is entering into the sheet. Yeah. So this time 9 is the right? This name is 9. You can ascertain it, of course, just for you see that 9 is this Helen Larson, Annie, right? And we get back to our sheet. So we see that the system is working properly. So Alt F11. So this is for the now each time we write the formula, we want this formula to be vanished, to be erased, and only the value remains. So what we say that P30 is equal to the value of P30. So we press P30 here. Please see, put your cursor so that you know that this is the formula at the moment. Always watching to this Q30 and bringing. If there is any change, it will change. But we no longer need this formula. So what we are saying that whatever is the value of the P30, make it as a value of it, means it is the formula. You will see the formula will go away as soon as we press F8 here. Yeah. And the value remains there, right? So this part of employee and purchase order number is done. Now it is going to pick the random supplier number. And supplier number. Okay, so the same thing is being done here. Let's see that let's see, this is the supply number, and it is writing the formula first, and then it is making the value. So let's see what the formula is to bring the supplier number for a randomly picked supplier. Right? Alter F11. So we are randomizing all the IDs of the supplier, right? And from this, first of all, an ID will appear, right? It is doing nothing else, only bringing the supplier, a number 1, 2, or 6, or 8, or 9, whatever it is. So let's press F8. Yeah. So the 3 is the term. Now, what is the name of the firm of this ID? So first of all, it has to get away with this formula which it has written. Yeah. So Alt F11. Yeah. It is now, you will say, if I press F8, you will see this formula is replaced with the value, so that it does not change next time we do anything. Okay, calculate, because the calculation is automatic. Yeah. Now the name so this time it is looking up. We look up this 3 and bringing it from where to look up. Just go to the supplier sheet and A and B, and on the second column, whatever is written, it is going to come here. So let's press F8. F8. Yeah. See, now the formula, the previous formula was gone with the value. Now that value is here in the VLOOKUP, see, and it is looked up. You see, in VLOOKUP, we say what to look up, this to look up, where to look up, to go to the supplier and A to B, right? And in this range, the second thing means second column value is required, right? So it has brought the supplier C. So again, we need this formula, so not to remain there, replace it with the value, right? You will see as soon as I press F8 here, the formula is gone, the value is there. And this how it will go, continue until it reaches the 5,000 row. So let's start. We get up, ready, press. So that's gone. Within a spur of minutes, seconds, all the data has been written, and you can see it that it is ready here. Okay. So row number 5,000. Now Now, created by is actually the same thing, huh? Which we have in the P2. We have all the employee name, right? So we will bring the employee name right here. So we go to the code so that the employee name is written here. Huh? So what is it? It is C. Right? Okay. We will copy this, Control C, Control V. Yeah. We make this B to C because we are writing in C. When the formula is simple, what is the formula? Whatever is written in the P30, that is employee. P30, that is employee. Because Q was the ID and P was the employee name which was looked up by us, right? So this how this is going to bring the employee who created the data. This is a dummy data, so don't worry about that. So we put all the creators to be the submitters the same way. Okay? Just for the sake of simplicity, we don't make it complicated. Okay. So, and how about this D? This is wonderful. This is a date. Now, shall we write the same date to him? All the 5,000 POs created on the same day? It doesn't look nice. It doesn't look nice. Huh? And this is unrealistic. So let's suppose that we, first of all, let's run the program so that you see that so far is so good, right? So we run it. Before running, let's erase everything here. Control minus, yeah. And Alt F11 will take us to the code, and we run this, and we see that a port of it is bringing all these things other than this date. Okay, right. So this was a breakpoint. Now, okay, the created by is also brought. Now we want this date to come, right? So, and it is not advisable to. It doesn't make any sense if that we put one date of submission. Okay, it's fine. You can have the date created and the date submitted all the same. That's fine for the sake of simplicity. But this here you need to have some logic. Let me write a logic here for you. The logic is we check. We use the Countif function. We are saying that Countif this the day which is above, one step above, that is 1st of January 2023, right? And if this range, that is D2 to D29, okay, has the say how many times it is appearing in this range, the 1st of January, right? If that is less than 40, then bring D29 in here. Otherwise, add a 1 to the D29. So we have written this formula in which there are no dollar sign except this, because D2 will always remain D2. What is D2? The starting point of the first element of the data in which the date is written or for the purchase order, right? D2, not D1, D2, right? D2, and this is made absolute by putting a dollar sign. What we are saying that don't, when it is copied, do not change this argument, do not change this coordinate, right? So let's press enter. So it is going to bring some number. So let's go to your home and say that set a format as a short date, for example. Yeah, hey, right? And if we press double click here, so we press double click, or since we have changed this date, we apply it to the entire column so that we don't have to change this date again in format again and again, right? Next. What we are going to do now is see if this is working until the end then, okay? So we check it randomly. So this is 1st January 2023, and as soon as the count goes to 40, yeah, it has become 40, it adds 1 to it. Wonderful, right? It adds 1 to 8. This condition arises when the 40 D2 to D66. Why we are on 67 and it is saying D66? Yes, because we want the counting to stop here. D66, one ray every time, one row above, the counting range stops, and in this, what to count is the thing which is above, that is 1st January. If it is less than 30, the count is less than 40, then it will remain, it will keep it repeating. But if it is not, then it will add 1 to it from 1st January to 2nd January. That's it. Okay. So this is working fine. Yeah. So the formula is working fine. So we are going to write this formula on the DLR in the code. Right. So let's say Control C, Alt F11, DLR. So let's put a temporarily put the copy so it is safe right here. Now, we want to write this formula to D. First of all, we okay, before we write this, let's make it as a value, right? The P30. Yeah, C is still there are the formula shown. We don't want to keep the formula unnecessarily available all the time. So what we do, Control C, yeah, is equal to Control V. So this will do away with what? With the formula. You see, if we click here, then and you run it, so the formula will go away. The next is on the D drive, in the D column. Okay, So we use this thing, Control C, Control V. So this is D. Okay, this is our D formula place where we are going to write a formula, and we will close the formula always in the quotes, right? So what is the formula? Formula is this, which we have brought, Control C, and we write in between these two quotes, right? But this 29 will not remain always the 29, right? It will be LR minus 1. LR is 30. LR is 30, and also this will not always be 30. It will be what? It will be an LR. Okay? It will be LR. Copy is this and right. Okay. Next is we are going to write this formula that will bring the date. If the 40 purchase orders have been are below the 40, then the same date will continue. Otherwise, it is going to add one into the date, whatever. So here we will focus on this hard coding, This is going to be LR minus 1. So we will close this code temporarily until here, yeah, and then we put an and sign and say LR minus 1 to make it 29, right? And then we put an end and start the code which we close. Again, this is going to be closed. Wherever 29 coming, we have to do this. Why we have to do it? Because we don't want all the time the 29 to appear. It should keep on changing. If LR is 30, so how to make this a 29? And that is LR minus 1, that is 29. So, and we will remove this. Wherever the 29 is appearing, this is the place where you have to replace this 29 with the LR. Minus 1. Is it? And again, this is the last point. So, yeah, and you will say the LR minus 1. So remove this 29. So that's it. Your formula is ready. Now you got to test it, that it's functioning as it is expected or not. So for this, we are going to remove all these data right from row number 30. So we select it, and this how, clicking this, and then control minus. That's it. Okay. Now let's run the routine to generate the PO or purchase order numbers and all this data. right? So it will work until the date, and then we will proceed to the next. Okay, let's enter. Let's run it. Yeah. So it has generated all the 5,000 until the 5,000 row, all the purchase orders, and all the purchase orders and all the data which you need, right? For example, you need this. Okay, so it has brought this name of the, which has brought this name of the person who has created, brought the name of the company for which it is created. Now it has since the let's check that this 40 condition is working fine. If yes, then we remove this formula. Yeah, you see, this is 40, and the second one is again 40, 31. Yeah, this is 40. Yeah, 40 rows. That's right. So wonderful. So what's next? Next is the creation date is to be the same date of this unit, right? So that makes sense. And also removal of this unwanted formula. Since the formula has already completed its job, there's no point of keeping the formula, loading the memory, making your file big unnecessarily. So let's write it like this. So what is it? It is doing away with the formula, and the formula will go. Okay. The next is E. E is equal to D, right? So this is simple. No need to write a formula for this. So we will say E is equal to D. That's right. Okay. So this is also done. Now, submitted. Submitted. And we want to write submitted on F. Fair enough. This is simple. No need to write a formula. You will say F is equal to, be careful that we don't make any typing mistake. I'm very poor in typing, so I prefer to copy paste. Control V. Right. Okay. I wonder how would be the life if Microsoft did not provide the Control C, Control V. They really made the common man life very simple, and we should be thankful for this. And all the praises to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are his creations, and we are supposed to not only to make use of it, but also be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also to the Microsoft, because they have done a nice job for human being like us, right? How would it be cumbersome for us if we, in the absence of Control C and Control V, we would be looking busy and doing nothing. Yeah. Okay. So E and F, right? Now, how about G? That is already blank, and we don't need this. And we want to put zeros in here, H and I, okay? Because this is how it is consistent, right? Okay. So submitted is done. And then, yeah, H and I are to be 0. And what else? H and I are to be 0, and K is also to be 0. Okay, and approved date is also to be well, we will do this. Order F11 quickly. Let's go to do H and I. So we say Control C. This is H is equal to 0. And I is equal to 0, right? Okay. One more thing we can do, because if we do a 0 in here, will it bring the dollar sign? Yes, it is bringing. That's good. Delete. Okay. So H and I is done. Now K. Let's put a K also, 0. K is also made 0. And O. Yeah, approvals. That's approving the stage is far away at the moment. We focus on the approved date also. We don't need for the moment, and at least the data will be ready. The header data will be ready. Okay. So what we do here is we remove everything from the row 30, Shift, Control, and Control minus, that's it. And we go to the code and we run it just to see that all the header data are done or not. Yeah. So all the 5,000 rows of the data have been generated within no time, right? Within no time. And it saves your time, and you have generated. Now you can do the more next steps instead of spending all your time in doing, the data arrangement. So you have completed the job of this. So all you need, if this is appearing, then what you need to do, you need to do select this and choose the painter and apply the painter here. Apply the painter. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's wonderful. And similarly here, you want this to be copied and apply it to the entire this range. That's fine. And what else you want? You want this to be copied, the format of the cells to be copied, and that's it. Wonderful. And that's all. You have your data is done, is ready, and next is our job is to enter further deep, that is go to the bring some pure detail data. Also random selection. This will be a little bit more in depth, and it will be an interesting challenge for us, and we will do it in the next session. I hope this is you find it useful. So the things you learn in these are the Countif, very important, and you will have to you would be needing this in your day-to-day life in working for the finance or procurement or whatever your job. even HR people, or so it is a very useful function, and all you need to know is that what is its format, it requires what inputs, and it returns what details, right? It returns you one value uh, on the condition which you provide, hmm, what in and on the criteria you mention in it, it counts down and brings you the. Similarly, the RAND between we have already discussed this. So I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in our upcoming video, in which we will proceed to generate the data for the pure detail. Thank you very much.